And welcome back to part 15 already. Yeah, that's three videos in one day. So we're cooking on gas now, you might say. Just wanted to point out that if you watch the last one on TikTok, it did seem to just run out before the end and cut off quite abruptly. That wasn't intentional, but that was what I was talking about before about these videos needing to be 10 minutes, especially if it's through TikTok. But if you saw it on YouTube, then that won't have been a problem. So I will just be more conscious of fitting everything into the correct timings from here onwards. There's just been this almighty storm here, and I was kind of waiting for it to quieten down, so there's not loads of background noise in the video. But that kind of made me think of another point to bring to the Lot story about their departure from the house, that there was no storm. Yeah, that it's something else that was added in for dramatic effect, and it's something that tends to happen and work in horror pictures and stories, doesn't it? But in addition to it, that does come as a surprise to a lot of people. It was said that they actually left in daylight quite calmly, with just a bare essential, kind of grasping of clothes, just the bare minimum, because again, they weren't intending to be gone for good. Yeah, but yet the movie suggests, yeah, this stormy night, and the lightning and everything is just all adding to the effect. And of course, at the beginning, we've got the precursor of the murders showing a dark, stormy night. Yeah, Amityville 2 also gives us a dark, stormy night, when none of that was ever said to have been the case in reality. Yeah, so that's just something I thought I'd mention because it's something that does get picked on, details like that. I mean, people have even been checking weather reports over the years, say, well, this wasn't accurate, was it, because the weather report says something completely different. And so we've just got to kind of make a few allowances here and there, for what's done for dramatic effects and what's poetic license, etc. Right, and so there was something I just wanted to bring up here, and this is not negative as such. It was a negative review that Pure Observation did receive. Now, the first thing I want to say is that I'm very, very open to feedback of all kinds. I'm not dismissive of someone who says, I hate your work. I'm not dismissive of someone who says, I thought your book was terrible and badly written, and I totally disagree with everything you said, and I feel that you were wrong. That I can take. In actual fact, I think really you're not really going to write about a subject like this and not expect some kind of backlash and people, kind of having a go at you, one way or the other. That there's always going to be something that gets out there and people are going to jump on it and say, yeah, 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 here you go, what are you doing here, what are you talking about, you're talking nonsense. I kind of half expected it. But if you were to go onto Amazon and order the book, you would see this review. And what I'd like to say to you is that this was a very, very unfair review from someone who I feel didn't even read the book, or at least didn't read it as intended, and quite possibly just flicked through it and noticed bits here and there that struck a chord or hit a nerve with them, for them to really, really kind of thrash it as was done. I mean, I was accused of being very unfair to people who disagreed with me, and it was suggested that I was calling people stupid and uneducated for not seeing things the same way as me, when it was actually the other way around. And I'm not just saying that to save face. It was a case of the only people I was really highlighting were those who would come to me aggressively to disagree with me, aggressively and sometimes quite nastily, to then just really reveal themselves as not having that much knowledge, to the point where some people, would make it abundantly clear that they'd never even read the Jay Anson book. And so it was like, well, are you making your judgments based on the film? Or where is this coming from? and as others have did agree with me and still do sometimes, is that people aren't even working with the basic facts, and we're talking the things that are facts that people are getting wrong, and then saying yes, and this is what it is. It is a hoax because I know this information. Like, well, yeah, you have actually got that wrong. That was never claimed, that was never said, that was never proved, etc. And you seem to be thrashing a story that you've never even read or kind of got to know in any way. And this is what I find quite well, upsetting in some ways, because it's all about people not listening or kind of comprehending what you're trying to say. It's like, you're either 100% with me or you're 100% against me. There seems to be no leeway, no in between where we can meet in the middle and try to have a civilized conversation and debate. And this is why I always say, we don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to share all the same views to remain friendly and civil, because this isn't a subject that we should be falling out about. And, there are plenty of people who I've come across who have very different views to mine, but we still get on very well. We agree to disagree, and, we find each other's views very interesting. And that's happened with a number of people. And, there's no badness or malice or, kind of nastiness about it, one way or the other. So, as I say, I just really wanted to point that out, that it's out there in public. So if anyone sees it, I would hope that you'd then read the book and realize that, hang on a minute, he's being accused of something that's totally unfair here. Because one of the things I was accused of was not really delivering anything conclusive, not really giving any information, accurate or inaccurate or whatever. And the blurb on the back of the book says it's not meant to give definitive information or facts. So that's what tells me that someone either didn't read it properly or misinterpreted it, and consequently just went ahead and gave me a bad review anyway. Yeah, so it's just something I wanted to put out there, because as I say, it is there for anyone to see. But I mean, I'd welcome any feedback. I really, really would, because that's what it's all about. It's how we all learn. It's all how we improve. It's how we keep building, because we need honesty from people. And like I say, if someone says this is a really bad job here, you think, well, okay, let's look at why you think that, and then let's see what we can do to fix it. Because the idea is that, we're all kind of aiming towards being happy in some way, shape, or form. And like I say, I'd never put that book out, expecting or being under any illusion of every single person loving it. I knew from the very start that I thought, well, there's going to be people out there who might read this and absolutely hate it, because that's just the way it is. There are books and films and documentaries out there that I absolutely hate, because not just because they disagree with me, but because I don't feel that they're put across fairly. And, they're all very biased and one-sided, and, kind of put in a way that's, shall we say, it's like they only feature certain people who can all stick together and support each other. They're not bringing anyone in from different sides to give a wider view or perspective of the whole thing. So that's where there's always going to be disagreements. There's always going to be what sort of conflicting views. That it's always going to happen. But this particular instance, yeah, as I say, I just really wanted to get that out there. There are people who've read this book and given me some very, very great feedback. They may not have written it in a review, but they may have told me themselves, that they like what I've done. They feel that it was fair and covered a lot of things that don't get covered in other books or documentaries and things like that. And so, it goes to show that, the majority of people who read it, read it for what it is and understood it for what it is and appreciated it for what it is. So I'm just hoping that we can carry on like that. But if you don't like it, I'd rather hear from you, and you can tell me why you don't like it and we can discuss it. Yeah, I'll be back again very soon. Thank you. Many blessings.